Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and I am back. I know I've been really slumping lately with videos. Just been really busy, just haven't had the time to do any videos. I know it's been forever. I know I did my announcement when I did my 100 subscriber video, then I didn't do a video for a little bit after that, then I did the video where I was doing the review of the Crystal Lake Memories documentary. Then after that, it was like that was the last video I did, and that was like a couple weeks ago. And I apologize for the delays and things like that. I thank you guys for sticking with me, though. I really do appreciate it. Just been really busy with a lot of stuff, but I'll be cranking out more videos right now because I now have a lot of time now. And basically, this is going to be the start of this. I promised you guys for my 100 subscriber special that I was going to do my top 100 favorite movies of all time. Now, this is going to go in multiple parts. Just going to let you know, this could be in various parts. I don't know how many, but we shall see when I finish the list. I do have some of them out right now. I don't want to pull them out all at once. I'm just going to go step by step, you know, for each part. But anyways, I promised you guys this would be, for my 100 subscriber special, my top 100 favorite movies of all time. So, let's get on to the list. Now, I have my phone here, just in case I need it for the list. Let's see. Okay. Let's get the list started. Okay. Coming in at number 100, Clerks. The first Kevin Smith film that he directed. Very funny film. Is in black and white. It's the first introduction to Kevin Smith. You get introduced to Jay and Silent Bob, Dante and Randall, and things like that. I mean, this is just a fantastic directorial debut for Kevin Smith. Clerks is really funny, very fun film. This is a great DVD too. It's a 3-disc, tons of features on here, just a lot of features on this. This was the Clerks X DVD, which is the 10th anniversary, but love Clerks. Easily one of my personal favorite comedies. Coming in at number 99, sticking with Kevin Smith. Number 99 is Dogma, which was I think the 4th film that Kevin Smith directed. First he did Clerks, then he did Mallrats, then he did Chasing Amy, and then he did Dogma. Dogma, this was a passion project that he was working on for a few years. And, you know, fantastic. I mean, I think this film was a lot of fun. It's a little over a 2-hour movie, but it's still a very highly entertaining movie. And even with when you put the deleted scenes back in, because this has like over 100 minutes of deleted scenes, you know, it's still really funny. It's still like almost like a 3-hour movie, but it's still really funny if you put those deleted scenes back in, because there's a lot of deleted stuff that are really funny. And this cast is fantastic as well. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Kevin Smith, Jason Mewes, Alan Rickman, Linda Fiorentino, Salma Hayek, Chris Rock, Jason Lee, George Carlin. Just a lot of people in this. And this is just a very entertaining movie, really funny. You know, just a I want to do a Kevin Smith marathon one day, because I'm a big fan of his, but really love Dogma. Really interesting idea. Just want to make sure I'm getting on the list. Make sure I'm getting the list. Okay. Number 98, The Hunted, which is I think is a very underrated movie, directed by William Friedkin, who did The Exorcist, did this film. Basically what this movie is you take the novel of First Blood and you make it into a movie. That's pretty much what it is, because in the novel of First Blood, Rambo is much more of a bad guy. He's more crazier than the actual movie First Blood. In the actual movie First Blood, he's a good guy. But in this one, Benicio del Toro is kind of like the Rambo character in First Blood, the novel. And you have Tommy Lee Jones, who is who works for the FBI, who's a lieutenant, is trying to hunt down Benicio del Toro because Benicio del Toro is killing all these people because he's a hunter. I think this film just has a lot going for it. It's a fantastic film. Love these two actors in here. Benicio del Toro does a great job, and Tommy Lee Jones does a good job. I think it's directed very well by William Friedkin. And overall, I think this is just a very good movie. Kind of cool to see First Blood, the novel, turn into a movie. I thought that was a cool idea. But very underrated movie. Love this film a lot. It did not do well when it came out, but I think this is a highly underrated movie. I love The Hunted. Number 97, War Games, which is directed by John Badham. Love this film a lot. One of the early Matthew Broderick movies. Before Ferris Bueller, he was in War Games. This is just a really highly entertaining movie where Matthew Broderick is a hacker. He's a computer hacker who can get into security systems, and there's this whole thing with World War III and things like that. And a lot of really great supporting characters. Dabney Coleman, Ali Sheedy. I think even William Sadler's in here as well. But yeah, this is just a really good movie. I love War Games, and this DVD is great. Has a really great 40-minute documentary on the making of the movie with some interviews with some of the cast. But War Games is a great one. Number 96, The Hard Way. Really fun buddy cop film with Michael J. Fox and James Woods. Stephen Lang is your villain. Penny Marshall is in here, the late great Penny Marshall. Annabella Sciorra, who is in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, is in here. Also directed by John Badham, same guy that did War Games, did The Hard Way. But Michael J. Fox is basically a Hollywood star who's pampered and who joins a New York detective who's James Woods and who's trying to track down this killer who is Stephen Lang. But really fun back and forth between Michael J. Fox and James Woods. And Stephen Lang's always a very entertaining bad guy. But love The Hard Way. Number 95. Make sure I'm getting the list right. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Number 95. Yes, Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo. I think my favorite Rob Schneider film. I think this is probably my favorite film with Rob Schneider in it. Basically, it's Rob Schneider who has to watch this guy's house, and everything goes wrong. He destroys the fish tank and things like that. So he has to try to make money to try to get everything fixed before he gets back from out of town. And the supporting characters, you have William Forsythe, Eddie Griffin, Oded Fehr, who was in The Mummy and a lot of other stuff. Directed by Mike Mitchell, who I don't know what this guy's directed, but I think this is a highly entertaining comedy with Rob Schneider. Yeah. Freak! Keep it in the circus! Just a highly entertaining film. I think this is, without a doubt, my favorite Rob Schneider film. Not much of a fan of the sequel, European Gigolo, but I do enjoy the first one. Number 94, Eight Heads in a Duffel Bag. Really fun, kind of dark comedy idea with Joe Pesci, where basically Joe Pesci is a middleman for the mob, and there's these 8 heads in this duffel bag, and one thing leads to another. His baggage gets mixed up with some other guy who's going to Mexico to see his girlfriend and her parents, and Joe Pesci has to find a way to get the heads back, and he finds David Spade, who's one of the guy's buddies, and and things like that. It's just all kinds of hijinks happen. Written and directed by Tom Schulman, who I think he was a writer on like What About Bob and Honey I Shrunk the Kids, and this is the only film that he directed because this film bombed badly. But I think this is a very entertaining film, especially Joe Pesci and David Spade together. I think they were a pretty good team together. Kind of a funny, dark comedy idea, but that's 8 heads in a duffel bag. I think I'm going to cover part 1 here shortly. Number 93, Young Guns, of one of my personal favorite Western movies. This cast is fantastic. Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, Charlie Sheen, Dermot Mulroney, Casey Siemaszko. And you also have people in here like Terrence Stamp, Jack Palance is your bad guy, Terry O'Quinn from The Stepfather, and just a really fantastic cast. But Young Guns is fantastic. Young Guns 2 is alright, but the first one is definitely the best one. And this has on here a commentary with Lou Diamond Phillips, Dermot Mulroney, and Casey Siemaszko. It's a really fun commentary, especially Lou Diamond Phillips. He's a lot of fun on the commentary. But yeah, the Young Guns is fantastic. A lot of fantastic cast about Billy the Kid. Love Young Guns. Number 92, this is a 2-pack, but I'm going to show for this one. D2 The Mighty Ducks. This has both the first and second Mighty Ducks, but D2 The Mighty Ducks, that's definitely my number 92 spot. Because this was the Mighty Ducks film that I grew up with the most as a kid. Speaking of Emilio Estevez, Gordon Bombay. But D2 The Mighty Ducks, I like the idea that it was a step up from the first movie, where the first movie was about Pee-wee hockey, and then in the second one, they go to the Junior Goodwill Games and they're competing against other countries. I like that idea. You get some new teammates in there. You have Kenan Thompson in there. You have a lot of other people in there as well. Directed by Sam Wiseman. I know that name sounds familiar. Sam Wiseman. I don't remember what he directed, but I know he's directed a couple of other things. And the first one was directed by Stephen Herrick, who did Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. But D2 The Mighty Ducks is a great sequel. It's a really satisfying sequel. My favorite Mighty Ducks film. I grew up with the film a lot. I'm going to show one more here, then I'm going to cut the part 1. The last one I'm going to show for this part at number 91 is Copland. Copland is probably one of the most underrated Stallone films. Directed by James Mangold, who went on to do Logan, Identity, and things like that. But Copland is fantastic. It's a different kind of role for Stallone, where it's basically Stallone is Freddie Heflin, who's a sheriff in this town where it's full of corrupt cops and things like that, and he takes a stand and try to stop this corruption. And once again, this has a commentary on here with the director, the producer, and Sylvester Stallone and Robert Patrick. And really great commentary. Really great commentary to listen to. And the cast is fantastic. Annabella Sciorra, who was in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle and The Hard Way, is in here as well. You also have people like, not only Stallone, but Harvey Keitel, Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, Peter Berg, Janine Garofalo, Robert Patrick, Michael Rappaport. Just a fantastic cast. But love Copland. Love Copland a lot. I'm going to stop for part 1 right here, and I'll see you guys in part 2.